Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monster on the Mountain, round number 1. Barry Miller, the disc golf guy, and joining me for the first time ever for his commentary debut, we've got Coby Guice. Coby, great event in store here, presented by DGA and Discraft, and Florida's own Calvin Heimburg with the first tee shot.
Hey, what's up, Terry? Coby here. Glad to be here with you for, like you said, first-time commentary and an exciting card to watch as well, especially with Calvin Heimburg, the ostrich, starting us out. And then, of course, Paul McBeth. Everybody knows Paul.
And another Floridian, Charlie Goodpasture, a solid opening drive here. Just a threesome here today as we're going to walk you guys through this relatively quick opening round. There was another guy on the card, and I think he was a kind of a no-call, no-show. But look at that. Wow. First hole, Heimburg for birdie.
Starting it out with a big putt. Really wouldn't expect anything less from Calvin. He's had a pretty stellar season, and his putting is continuing to get stronger and stronger.
So just so everyone knows, how old is Calvin?
I think he's maybe 22, 23 years old. He's pretty young. I should know. He's one of my really good friends. He'll probably get mad at me for not knowing that.
Here's Goodpasture, and he cleans up. He's going to take a birdie, so back-to-back solid putts to get started, and Paul McBeth just slightly inside of that, and what do you know? We're going to have star frame here on hole 1. A little bit different look. You and I will talk about the different holes that we're going to see. There's been some change-ups out on this course. They tried to make it a little bit more challenging. We'll see how those play this week. Here's Heimburg with the tee shot.
Yeah, really just blasting it out there. It definitely is a little bit different from previous years. Kind of excited to see some of the changes that Sun King and Mike Barnett has implemented out here at the mountain.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Normally they tee up from a higher area, kind of closer to where one's basket is. And I wasn't feeling as much of the rain here on the tee as my pal Seth down at the catch was. And you can see the rain has started again here as it's about 10 or 11 o'clock or so on this Friday afternoon.
Yeah, Charlie looking like he has a good drive. Maybe taking it a little bit easier since the rain's starting to come down a little bit harder. Oh, well.
Exactly.
There we go. Welcome to Florida, guys.
And just a few minutes later, we're down the fairway, and the rain is all but subsided.
All right, Paul with looking like a really lucky approach coming through there, but sometimes you got to get skinny through there.
Just fighting through those trees in similar position. Here's Heimburg. Oh, what an eagle.
That's
Calvin cashing it. Here it is. Tell us about that shot.
Well, there's this big gap right there in the middle that I missed, and it went in the basket, though, so that's all that matters.
By design. Sounds like he's not taking any credit for that.
Oh, my goodness. He called me after the round and was telling me a little bit about it, and he said he had one of the luckiest shanks that he's had in a long time. That might have been what he was talking about.
McBeth is going to pull himself. I believe you get up to 2 meters or at least 1.5 meters away from the barbed wire, a unique rule that is played often when you see barbed wire. So, man, pretty solid performance here on the card. What do we got, a pair of birdies and an eagle?
It looks that way. Maybe Charlie's tapping out for par right here.
Oh, correction. Yeah, you'd think I would know that. Pretty amazing start nonetheless. We got plenty of birdies, and Calvin, he's sitting 3 under through the first 2 holes.
Just killer. Right out of the hand, that's looking like a pretty perfect drive for him. You just really want to keep it really low because the next shot, the approach is going to be drastically uphill. So looks like Paul did the same thing, just threw it perfect.
Yeah, this is some really good positioning, and that's what you're playing for. We've seen this tee back a little bit further the last time we were here for a throw down the mountain. So this tee shot is about 50 feet shorter than we've seen it in the past. But this approach, this is what this hole is all about.
Charlie coming up a little bit short, just catching the trees on the right side. The whole play is pretty tricky because if you do hang it out a little bit too far right, again, there's a barbed wire fence and OB on the whole right side. Looks like this basket's changed as well. Paul throwing a really good up shot, and looking like Calvin's not taking quite as much advantage of that perfect tee shot as he wanted, but it's probably in his range.
See Goodpasture throwing his next shot. Now this is Heimburg. He's looking at a birdie from probably about 35. No big deal.
Perfect. Did he go over that tree? Like
it was, yeah. It's crazy to see he's so nonchalant with his putting style, and it's a unique putting style, but certainly stress-free.
Yeah, you very rarely see him miss left or right. Paul just making it look easy as usual as well. So we got Calvin 4 down, Paul 3 down, and let's see how Charlie fares up on this putt.
Yeah, this is the par 4 that I've seen plenty of trouble on. Like you said, not only is that fence on the right-hand side, you can actually see shots finding the road, but it looks like everybody stayed relatively clean. We've got 2 birdies on the par by Goodpasture, and I'm going to take a quick walk over here to hole number 4. This one's a little bit different from the last time you saw it too.
It looks like so far we're every hole's changed from previous years. Really excited again to see the rest of the course how it plays. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the harder holes on the course. Just trying to throw a low force shot, but also trying to get it to flatten out. Hopefully get some ground action late. Paul looking like he's turning it over just a little bit more than he wants to. Probably still has an upshot, or at least a long look at it.
Yeah, it's all about keeping it flat. I love the angle there by Charlie. You want to keep it flat and just try and play the skip up the hill. With the one mistake you can't make is what we saw by McBeth in that turnover, because he's not going to get it to go up the hill at that rate. So you can see the basket's back a little further in a run that sits down ultimately by Calvin.
Wow.
And Paul's going to pitch it right next to the basket. So really no harm, no foul, as all 3 will walk away with a par. This has to be, if we had some UDIS stats, I would say this is definitely the hardest par 3 out here to get the birdie on.
Yeah, I could see that pretty easily. It's just, again, forcing it down and then coming back up. And it looks like they pushed the pin back maybe an extra 30, 40 feet from where it was in previous years. So that's definitely going to make it a much harder too.
So now we're moving up to the top of the hill. Again, a different change here.
Wow.
And a different pin location. So this is almost a completely different hole from what we saw a few months ago.
So we got a few different options. A little turnover, maybe a putter shot from McBeth. Of course, Calvin going with that little forehand. Probably his clear flat top Firebird, and Charlie with another forehand. All of them look like they're pretty good. Again, I can't see exactly where the basket is, but it looks like they all landed relatively close. Yeah, as you can see.
Yeah, I mean, you can play for a little bit of those low-hanging branches, just coming in with the right speed. There's a little bit of luck, I would say, on the angle in which you come in, but ultimately, 3 very effective drives, all 3 of them combined no more than 15 or 18 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So 3 very quick birdies as we move over to hole number 6. Now 6 looks pretty similar to what you've seen in the past, except for just push back about 30, maybe 35 feet up and to the left.
Yeah, it looks like you can give it a little bit more hyzer than than where the basket previously was. And here comes the rain. It's, again, welcome to Florida. It's going to probably be off and on, off and on. Keep you on your toes a little.
And a mistake there by McBeth, and he was a little frustrated with himself. He just flat out did not throw that one hard enough. You've got all the backstop in the world. There's no reason not to be aggressive, and what a great shot by Goodpasture.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, downhill 295. He's definitely going to want that one way closer. Just off to the left side.
Another easy birdie by Heimburg.
Calvin lighting it up, 6 down through 6 right now.
And Goodpasture is going to tap in for his birdie. So McBeth left out of the birdie party.
Still plenty of golf. I'm sure he'll have a few additional looks. It looks like with the changes, a lot of the holes are coming in just a little bit shorter than previous years. So maybe that trend will stay there.
So now this one is exactly as you've seen it the last time we were both out here.
Wow.
Huge power hyzer, and then you're playing for a position. You want it to be out in the open, and Calvin just giving it a rip. Even McBeth was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, the smart play is just like maybe about a 350 hyzer because it's playing again downhill and there's shoal off to the left and right pretty heavy. So as long as you keep it in the open, the second shot should be pretty easy. And you see McBeth right there just throwing it a little bit easier than Calvin, but just placing it perfectly where he wants.
And I have to say, this has to be one of my favorite holes out here on the course. I mean, it's right there. You should go out and birdie it all the time, but you have to get that nice clean tee shot. And look at Kelvin's standstill from where he's at.
Wow.
Not quite enough power. I think Grant was giving him a little bit of a hard time. This is actually Goodpasture. He had landed there. That was his third shot, just trying to get out of the shoal. And Calvin for birdie.
He is definitely putting in work today. Probably some of the better golf I've seen him play. Again, he's had a pretty standout year all year. But as long as he keeps up this play, 2019 season is going to be a really good season for him.
Calvin, I think I met him. I think I met both you and Calvin for the first time ever at this very property a number of years ago. And so we've got some long history after being down in Brooksville.
Yeah,
what, 3-4 years ago now?
Yeah, that's about right. Now again, this basket has been a couple different places. This is probably one of the better pin placements for this hole. A lot less fluky than other places. It's really just a straightforward shot. Just want to keep it from rolling down the hill, and it looks like McBeth puts it perfect inside the circle.
Yeah, 330 tunnel shot, and it's a little bit of combination of both speed and angle that I think you need when you're coming in here, as Charlie's short and left, and he's going to throw his approach.
Again, you got to watch out for the roll.
And that's exactly what's happening, and we didn't have a good angle on it, but Goodpasture actually finding himself down and way down there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Sit down. You got to watch out because there's OB all down there. Just
right. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not his best effort right there. He wishes he could take that one back, I'm sure.
So now he has the option to go either play from where he last was inbounds or play from right where he is. And that's exactly what he's talking about. He's going to let Calvin throw, and then he says he's just going to rethrow from right there with penalty.
Yeah, probably smarter play in that situation.
What? He misses?
Can
you believe it?
I know. Put about 50 trees in between him and the basket. He might miss one every once in a while. Charlie just a little bit of struggle on this hole, but I'm sure he'll get it back.
And McBeth immediately ready to pounce, taking the birdie. Yeah. He's going to pull within one of Heimburg. And Goodpasture's just ready to be done, ultimately walking away with a 6. That's not the 6-pack you want when you're out on the course.
Not at all. Not at all.
Calvin. I feel like I keep my 6-pack hidden really well.
Hey, it's all right. You know?
Let's move on to hole 9.
It's bulking season, isn't that what they call winter?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. 440 feet. This would probably have to be maybe the second most difficult par 3 to get. I don't think it plays quite 440 due to the elevation, but certainly a position shot.
Oh yeah, you're going to want to keep that one turning much more. Much more. It's pretty treacherous on the left side with the elevation, and then there's just a lot of trees to get through once you are pinned down at the bottom. Calvin really trying to force it over, but again, just same thing as Paul, just really getting caught up in the shoal on the left side. Luckily, his stayed out a little bit, so he should have a pretty easy up.
And Goodpasture seemed to have a little slip there on the tee, but not such a bad slip as an end result there.
Yeah, he'll be in good enough position to get up and down for 3. Yeah,
Looks
perfect.
like he's going to do just that. We see Dwayne Reeder, host extraordinaire, along with spotter and course maintenance guy. We appreciate all of Dwayne's efforts out here as he hosted both myself along with Paul and Hannah McBeth for the weekend. So thank you, Dwayne.
Paul going with a one of the more amazing spike hyzer forehands that you're gonna see, because to get it up over those trees where he just threw it, I mean you're getting it 80 foot in the air at least.
Yeah. He had flat out said it was such a weird angle for it to come out of his wrist. So these guys are going to clear out. Coby, that was a quick front 9. I hope you'll join me for the back. I appreciate it. Thanks to DGA and Discraft, along with Mike Barnett and Sun King. We'll see you on the back.
Thanks, y'all. See you soon.
More stuff connecting those two. It's like that back door wasn't there as much.
Of course, people just try to throw at the basket rather than
Go around. Yeah, I wasn't that close to it, so I could go over.
Sun King Discs, established in 2001. Florida's most respected name in disc sports. Official retail merchandiser of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Currently on tour supporting Discraft and DGA live inventory, free shipping at $12. All orders $19.99, ships in a box, includes single discs, large selection of both stock and collectibles. Check out the website at www.sunkingdiscs.com.